We are going to begin talking about systems of equations. There are three ways to solve a system. The first way is graphing. System of equations are just two equations. We're going to find the common solution between those two equations. First, let's review slope-intercept form and how to graph. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M stands for your slope, and your slope is rise over run. Rise is how many go up, run up or down. Run is how many go left or right. B is your y-intercept. Your y-intercept tells you where the line crosses your y-axis. Your y-axis is your vertical line. So when you go to graph in slope-intercept form, you first want to graph your y-intercept by putting a point on the y-axis wherever that is, and then count your slope, count your rise over run to get your second point of your line. And then steps for solving by graphing is first thing you have to make sure both equations are solved for y, and then after you're solved for y in slope-intercept form, you want to graph each line using the slope and y-intercept. And then whatever the point of intersection is, wherever the two lines cross, that is your answer. There are three possible cases for your answers. If you have intersecting lines, which means the lines touch each other, you have one solution to that problem. If your lines are parallel, which means they never touch. If the lines don't touch, that means there are no answers, so your answer is no solution. Don't forget, no solution is your zero with your line through it. If you look at the third case, it looks like there's only one line here, but actually there's one line on top of the other, so there's two lines. This is called coinciding, or coinciding lines. And if you have lines that fall on top of each other, that's the all real numbers, which is your fancy R. And that means any number or any ordered pair that falls on this line would work in your equations. And if you plug them into both equations, they'll both come out even. So let's look at our first example here. I'm going to graph the first one line in red. When you go to graph, first thing you're going to look for is your y-intercept. So, and y equals negative 5 over 3x plus 3. My y-intercept is 3, positive 3. So that means I want to put a point on 3. And then my slope tells me that it's negative 5 over 3. The top number, or the negative 5, tells me to go up or down. Since it's negative, I go down 5. And the bottom number tells me to go right 3. So I start at my y-intercept, and I want to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 3. So that is where my second point goes. And then to draw a line, you draw it through the 2 points. Then for the blue, or for the second equation, my y-intercept is negative 3. So that means I want to go on my y-axis down to negative 3, put a point, and then my slope is 1 over 3. So the 1 tells me I need to go up 1, the 3 tells me to go right 3. So I go up 1, right 3, which makes my point where I just highlighted, right here. And then I draw my line through it, through the 2 blue points. And this intersection, right there where the 2 lines cross, is my answer. So I need to figure out what that point is. So to get to that point, I start at my origin, I go to the right 3, and down 2. So that means my answer is 3, negative 2. You always write your answer as an ordered pair. For the second problem, I'm going to graph my first line in blue. So I'll start with my y-intercept, which is 2. and then my slope is -2 or -2/1. That means I go down 2 and right 1 for my second point. I'm going to do my second line in red. This means, and my y-intercept is -2, so it means I go down 2. And then the slope is the same, it's -2/1. So I go down 2 and right 1. Now I want to go ahead and draw my two lines. If you look at these lines, you'll notice they are parallel. They're not going to touch. They have the same slope, different y-intercepts. So that means my answer is no solution. There are no numbers we can plug into those two equations that they would work. And the last example, I have to solve for y. So if -x plus 3y is equal to 6. So to do this, I want to get y by itself. So I need to add x to both sides. So 3y is equal to x plus 6, and then divide by 3. I'm going to divide every term by 3. So my 3's cancel. Y equals x over 3, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I want to graph that line now. And my y-intercept is +2. And it's x over 3, which means that my slope is 1/3. That means I go up 1 and right 3 for my second point, and go ahead and draw the line. Okay, I'm going to clear this area to give me some more room to work. I'm going to have to solve my second equation for y, since it's not given. So I have -5x plus 3y is equal to 6. So I'm going to add the 5x to both sides. Cancels out, which gives me 3y equals 5x plus 6. Divide each term by 3. 3's cancel, and I have y equals 5x over 3 plus 2 again. So once again, my y-intercept is 2. So that point goes here. Now, my slope is 5/3. If I go up 5, I'm going to go off the graph a little bit, which is okay. So I'm going to go up 5, right 3, which would give me in here somewhere. Draw the line through your 2 points. Wherever they intersect is your answer, which would be right here. That point, we go left or right 0. So my x is 0. We go up 2. So my y coordinate is 2. So my answer to that problem is 0, 2. If I plug 0 in for x and 2 in for y, both of these, both the left side of the equations will turn into -6 and 6. Go ahead and pause the video and try the try. Alright, so first we need to solve for y. If you do that, you would have to add 2x and divide by 3, which would give us that for the first equation. For the second equation, you would have to subtract x from both sides. Right. So then the graph, my red line, the y-intercept is -3. So I'm going to go down to my y-axis, put a point on -3, and go up 2, right 3, and draw a line. For the blue line, my y-intercept is 2. So I want to go on my y-axis up 2. And since it's -x, that means my slope is -1 and then make it a fraction that's over 1. So that means I want to go right or left, down 1, right 1. Then to draw my line, I'm going to go all the way through it. The point of intersection is right here. And that point, to get to it, you start at your origin, go right, 1, 2, 3. So makes my x-coordinate is 3. And then go down 1. So that means my y-coordinate is 1.